Alright, I just left the job I've been working on. Another happy customer. And I'm at the thrift store about to walk in, and I wanted to show you something. And the first thing you think is, man, didn't you outgrow that after middle school? Yep, but there's a good reason I'm doing this, and I'll show you why. I just left the thrift store, and now I'll show you what that's all about. Had a pretty good couple of days thrifting. Spent about 78 bucks, about $330. Yeah, I have to look at my notes. I cheated. $330 in sales, and it's going to wind up being about $178 in profit. Not too bad. Here's the thrifting on the road booty. I'm going to get some of this stuff listed here in a little bit. I'll pick out the items that were the best, items that were worse, and show you some of them, show you what they comp out. There are no gigantic big hitters here, but there's some really good bread and butter items. Help keep the store full. But now, back to why I had that written on my hand. And a little explanation. Folks, I'm really glad you're back with the channel. You came back and you're interested in this video. It's pretty good stuff. You'll have to pardon if the camera's moving a little bit. I bought this DJI Osmo gimbal to help me hold the camera still. I also occasionally use a tripod. Took the tripod home and forgot to bring it back. And my gimbal, well, it's dead. It don't work real good if you forget to charge it. The main purpose of this video is to help newbies, beginners, which is pretty much what I was within the last couple of years. About a year and 10 months ago. It's hard sometimes when you get started to know what to look for as a reseller. This video will be strictly about eBay, thrifting for eBay, and more specifically, thrifting clothes for eBay. But the means remains the same. I mean, there's really no difference. If you're thrifting electronics, you do the same thing. If you're thrifting, like I was doing tonight, I was doing ladies' blouses and shirts. It'll be the same with shoes. If you're thrifting sporting goods, baseball bats, whatever it is. But anyway, I digress. A lot of times new resellers just live for the Facebook groups and YouTube content where people are giving out bolos. B-O-L-O, be on the lookout. Certain things that sell really well for a lot of money, or staple items that sell steadily for bread and butter kind of money. Our target goal, minimum target goal on sales, is $30 per sale. We will occasionally go below that, especially if it's like shirts. You can usually thrift shirts on the cheap. I get shirts usually between $2 and $4. Sometimes I get them for $1. And if you can sell these shirts at 18 bucks free shipping, you can still wind up making 9 or 10 bucks on a shirt. 8 to 10. And so it keeps your eBay store rolling. It keeps, especially if you're new, it keeps the feedback coming. So if you can make 8 bucks and get a feedback, the more feedback you get, the more you sell. So what was I doing with the writing on my hand? I do this practically every time I go thrifting, and well, not practically, most times when I go thrifting, And the reason I do this is so I can keep up with the trends of what's selling on eBay. Head scratcher. Nah, in fact, it's pretty darn easy. If I can figure it out, hey, you can figure it out. Anybody can figure it out. What I do is, like tonight, I hate flipping hangers. I hate flipping hangers, especially the thrift store I was at tonight is huge. And there are, I wouldn't be scared to say 100,000 shirts in this place. Shirts, blouses. So when you're flipping hangers, you come across an item and say, man, that looks really good. The material feels like it's super good quality. I bet this is a good item. And so you lay the shirt down on your little buggy and you pull out your phone and you start searching the comps for it. And then you find out that this Chico's on Main, New York is not a good brand on eBay. So my goal here is to show you how I got started, and I still have to search comps, and you should search the comps on anything you find. But this streamlines things a lot. It speeds things up from a point of, it helps you learn brands. And all I do is open up my eBay app. Let's say tonight I said I'm gonna check out the ladies' shirts and blouses, and I'm gonna flip some hangers. It was about an hour before the store closed, so yeah, that's what I was gonna concentrate on. I did a real fast round to check all the general merchandise, hard merchandise. Took a quick look at the shoes. I did find one pair of shoes. They were Merrell's. That's the second pair in 2 days I found. And anytime you find Merrell, if they're in good shape, get them. They sell. But what I do is something you can do, anybody can do, and that is open up your eBay app, okay? Click on your filters, and the filters you want to check, obviously, are condition, used, or pre-owned, and sold and completed items, aka sold comps. Okay, you want to check those. And then I open the price. And the price filter I use is a minimum $20. Okay? So then I start populating a list. Once I search, it's going to tell me everything that's sold in used condition in the ladies' shirt and blouse category that sold for at least $20. Okay? Because a shirt, if I like the shirts I was looking at tonight was $2 and $4. If I can buy a shirt for $2 and sell it for $20, I'm good. Okay, I don't really want to go any lower than that, but sometimes I will go lower than that. It depends. You know, it depends on the situation, the shirt, blah 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 blah. So tonight, what I did is the same thing. I opened up all my filters, sold completed items. Price $25, okay, and I was searching ladies' shirts and blouses. So then it opened up, and I scrolled the list. Take about 5 minutes to just scroll the list and look what names, brand names, come up the most, and you want to look at the date. All right, Talbot is a good brand. It's not a mega brand. It's not a gigantic moneymaker by any means, but they sell pretty steady as long as it's in really good condition and the shirt kind of stands out. The colors, the patterns, you want vivid colors. You want to make sure, you know, there's nothing. The shirt's got to be in great condition. I prefer like new. But yeah, those brands, Talbots and J. Crew sells well. It sells steady. It's not a gigantic money maker, but it moves. And then you get into other brands. One brand I love to find, and if they're in good shape, I buy them every time, is Lululemon. That's ladies Lululemon. A lot of the yoga pants, capris, little shirts, leggings, things like that. And to be honest, I'll be the first to admit it's boring as crap to search through the women's clothes because I don't relate to it. But once you start finding a few of these things, it becomes a little more exciting. So now you've populated a list. Okay. I suggest don't make the list too big. 4, 5, maybe 6 brand names that sell really well, that sell steady and have sold. Remember I said look at the dates. That have sold multiple times very recently, either in the past week, the past month. Yeah, and so you find that out, and you find these brand names that sell really well, and you write them on your hand. Now, why do I write it on my hand? You know, I could take a little notepad, I can make a note. You know, well, there's a really good reason for it. When ladies are walking through a thrift store, it's not uncommon for them to have a purse in their buggy, and a notepad laid open on the purse, whatever the case is. And you know, if you wanted to do it that way, that's fine. Have your 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, whatever number of brand names, and ladies or whatever category you're in, what sells the most regular, and for the most money. And you populate those brands. I like to write them on my hand. I'll write 4 to 6 brand names on my hands because I know nothing about ladies' apparel. I mean, absolutely no. So, not having a purse in my little cart or buggy, I have it written on my hand, and as I'm flipping these hangers, I'm just looking for brands. Well, what I'm looking for is a shirt that stands out, a really cool graphic, cool colors, whatever the case is. I'm looking for this, and at the same time, I'm looking at the tag. I mean, it's just click, 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 going through shirts. The more shirts you get through, the more shirts you find. And I have my list of, I usually use 4 to 6. I've learned probably 10 brands that sell well on eBay. Some of those brands are like really hard to find stuff. You know, the Lululemon, you don't find a lot of that every day. But those $20, $25 brands, I find pretty regular. And you're flipping through these hangers, and you want speed, and you've got it right there at a moment's notice. I can look at my hand and see those brands. All right, and sometimes the brands I've already learned will click, and it's good. Yeah, there'll be, as you're flipping, you're going to come across maybe football, baseball, basketball jerseys, different things like that. You're going to come across, I love finding vintage concert shirts. That's stuff that you don't need to write on your hand, because you know if you flip it open and you find a 1984 Def Leppard shirt, hey man, that's going to sell. What the list is really for is for the things you don't recognize. And if you make this list too long, it's going to slow you down. You're going to constantly keep looking back. Yeah, you may miss some stuff. You will miss some stuff. But at the same time, you're going to be able to source efficiently. You're going to be able to get through that stuff. You're going to be able to get through all the No Boundaries and Faded Glory and Kato and all this stuff that you do not need to buy for resale. You'll be able to get through that stuff a lot quicker. You know you're looking for shirts that stand out, classic / vintage shirts with really cool graphics, things like that. And then when it gets into stuff I don't know, which is ladies' brands, I have it on my hand. I'm watching. Oh, was that one of the brands? Let me look at my hand. You know. And you can't write everything on your hand. And as your knowledge grows, a lot of this stuff will stay stuck up here, and you'll get better. But anyway, this is what I did. I'll bet somebody out there is saying, "Oh my God, that man's hands are nasty." Yeah, the truth is, what I do is a mechanical work on machine tools, and my hands get really stained from black grease and this chemical called dicum. Google it and whatnot. Anyway, back to a weird moment, wasn't it? Anyway, anyway, that's what I did, what I still do. If you're new, or even if you've been around a while, and you're looking for different ways, it's kind of I won't say elementary thing, but I think it's something people get away from a good bit. And when I first started, I was finding really cool prints on shirts, graphic prints and little funny sayings and quotes and things on Gildan shirts and stuff like that. But anyway, I bought a bunch of stuff that didn't sell. You ever done that? Yeah, me too. Well, if you stayed this long, I do appreciate it, and I hope you got some good use out of this content. If you like the video, I appreciate it if you would hit the like button, a little thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, you can consider doing that if you'd like. I would appreciate it. If you didn't like something about the video, or there's something you do along the same lines that can help other people, leave it in the comments below. And I read all the comments, and I'll try to reply back to everything. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys joining me. And like I said, like, subscribe, notifications. And we'll see you next time. Have a great one.